Hello, welcome back to another video on Sports Undefeated. It's been a little while. Um, I haven't had time to record, but honestly, the season had to slow down a little bit. We just had to get the end of everything. Big things did happen. I won't be recapping that, but I mean, we can honestly talk about DB number one. I'm not really going over that today. The AP, is this the last one? This is the last one, I think. Or, no, this is the last one. We're not going to get one after the fact. So, everything that's in set in stone now will be set in stone for pretty much rest of the season until we get to March Madness, which is a week away, 6 days away actually. We are already starting to see some people go to dance. Some people are going there for the first time. Some people taking like another trip around. We got some big names that have to play. We got some big tournaments that are about to happen. Two games tonight that are about to happen to see who's going to be going dancing also. I'm going to talk about those big tournaments, which ones I really want to see happen, my predictions on them. And how do I feel about the 5-2s I already in? I'm going to talk about them a little bit briefly. And what qualities I'm trying to see in March Madness teams. They usually perform pretty well. So let's get talking. A lot of this is going to be off the top of my head today, or I'm going to be looking at the computer, which is like how all my videos are. So yeah, all right. So I'm first going to talk about the five teams that I've got in already, and we're just gonna talk a little bit about them, see if they have any like chances at making a run in any type of way because you always gotta see. Um, let's put the first team. We're first gonna talk about the SIUE. They were the first team to get in. The Cougars. They were the first team to get into the dance. A couple of days ago, and I'm gonna talk about what I want to see in teams this year, why they should be able to go on a run. So I read this on minute. First I want to see a team with good pace. Um, your offensive rating, just how good you are officially offensively. That's pretty simple, fair enough. Same thing. I want to see elite defense. I need to see like crazy good defense. Is what I'm trying to see. I'm more of a defensive person. Offense, you have a good offense, but you have a crazy defense that will always help you at the end of the day. Um, 3-point percentage. If your 3-point percentage is through the roof, you might need to look out for that team, and that is one thing you need to look out for. Definitely elite rebounding. Rebounding needs to be good too. A lot of the Cinderellas always come from elite rebounding. We'll talk about that later. And then strength of schedule when playing teams that are not in their conference is always something we gotta watch out. So like for example, when North Florida, who did they beat? I don't know. I know they went on that whole week run beating pretty good teams. That would be pretty important to look out for going into stuff, just to see stuff. So yeah, that'd be nice to look at. Um, I think that's it. I think that's everything I have on here. And the free throw rate. You gotta make those free throws when it comes down to it at the end of the day. So those are things I point out for to see for a good team in March Madness. So we'll see. All right, but let me just talk about the pit. Let me talk about the Cougars real quick. So officially, they got in by beating number one SE SEMMO. I forgot what that stands for. Their team, they look kind of choked that. I think they kind of had it on the table for them getting in, and then they just decided, yeah, never mind, we're not going to get in the tournament. So it kind of just led to them getting in instead. Which I mean, safe to say, it'll be their first time going dancing. If you haven't seen the video, I'm gonna point this out. I'm not gonna put it on the screen, but the head coach was getting interviewed after a game, and he had scissors. He had scissors that he held in in the locker room for 6 years, saying on this day these will be the scissors I will cut when we win that conference tournament. And he's gonna cut them down with that, which was just that was inspiring to see for sure. Um, just showing anything that's clearly possible in March Madness that they were able to get the job done, and now that they were going to be able to go to March Madness, so that was pretty exciting to see. Congrats to them because I never thought that was going to happen. But let's talk about them as a whole team. They finished out the season off 22-11. Is their first March Madness appearance. You're gonna see a power of that so far. That's pretty good to see. First round game, they defeated the one seed, like I already mentioned that, and let's talk about the statistics I was talking about. And see if they're a pretty good squad or if they're not gonna be ones to watch out for at all. So first is that 3 point percentage that I was talking about. Um, they're not that good. They're above average, but like 156. If you, I need someone that can shoot top, like top 100, even maybe like top 50. So nothing too crazy for that. Their defense is elite. It's pretty average. Their defense is way better than their offense. Their offense is uh around 240th. Wow, their defense is 156 in the country. Their pace is one more the slower teams. So and then their rebounding is okay. Their rebounding is pretty average compared to the team. So oh, one thing to point out, their strength of schedule when they play teams that are pretty good. They had to play Illinois earlier this year. Of course, they didn't do well at all. They lost Indiana by 19. I guess maybe the only way that you could put out was pretty good. I guess you give Indiana State a decent shout out. That was a decent win. And maybe you can get put Western Michigan one even in there too, but Western Michigan has not been that good. So yeah, I mean that's kind of the deal here. But is there anything crazy that I'm gonna see them do to do good now? I don't think so. I think they're probably the weakest out of. And I think they'll be the one of the weakest 16 seeds that we see. So they might honestly get matched up with an Auburn, unfortunately, or like a Duke, and they're probably have to play them again too. So that's probably unfortunately gonna have to happen for them to even see a chance to play in a actual March Madness game. They're probably gonna dealt with Auburn or Duke anyway. So that's unfortunate, but yeah, that's the way it's gonna go for them. But it's nice to see new teams get in there, and yeah, so that's what I think about them. Moving right along, we are gonna talk about Omaha. We got Omaha. I still don't know what they're called. We're gonna talk about Omaha here. Um, it's about how good of a team they have been for this run. All right, now we're gonna talk about Omaha as a team and something that needs to be pointed out about them. They came from the Summit. I think they finished also with a record of 22-12, coming off a pretty good season. Um, no, 20, yeah, 22-12. Um, they've done pretty well. They're known for their pretty good offense. I think their offense is what made them do so well. They were already in there because St. Thomas lost their they got in and St. Thomas is eligible for another 4 years to get the March Madness. So that's why they're automatically in, and that's why they did have to concern. They did end up winning their tournament, so then that. Um, let's talk about them as a whole. Their strength of schedule. Nothing really too notable to put out. I will say they only lost by 4 to Minnesota earlier this year, but Minnesota has not been that crazy good. But Minnesota is still a top 100 team in the country, so it does prove something. There's not really any notable wins I can point out for them. I'm like sorry to say that. I mean, they kind of dominated their whole section. They did lose to St. Thomas earlier in the year, but they were able to get their get back by 10. So let's see what they will do. I think also, just one aside, I think it'd be probably the best 16 seed that we have here, and there'd definitely be a 16. But it'd be one of the best that we have, and they might get maybe dealt with one of those one seeds like a Duke just to play off for. So simple enough. First, let's just look at 3 point percentage. 52%. That's something that's gonna have to be looked out. Um, what this 16 seed Omaha is gonna put a fight against whoever one seed they do go against. If you want to get risky and take them to beat whoever, it's not. Oh no, it's a crazy take, but like there's proof for it. But I'm gonna show you why they should get through. Obviously, that 3 point percentage is always something to look out for when you get to that. The elite defense is not there. That is one thing I will say about Omaha. They're strictly seems like an offensive team. Um, and it sucks to say that, but it's kind of true. Omaha can shoot the ball crazy, but when you get to like that defense, they are near the bottom of the board on that defense. So yeah, sorry to say that, but nothing too noble to look at there. I will like to point out though, not on my list, they are second in momentum. Like overall, when they ride on momentum, they're second in the country. So that's also they look off of if they start to get hot after that first win. If they upset, which I don't think they will. Um, their offensive rating, like I talked about, is 89. It's pretty good. It's one of the tops in the one of the top in the country, also the mid major. Um, like I said, service schedule we already talked about, and the rebounding is also not bad at all. Let me just make sure I see that's right. Omaha's rebounding is 94th in the country, so it's pretty good. Um, Pretty good rebounding. It's not like amazing rebounding, but it's pretty good to a standard that will get the job done most of the time. And like I think I talked about everything here. The free throw rate is mid, pretty much. So the only things I do see, I think they will give a team some problems, but I don't think it's anything serious. Like if they were a higher seed, I would give them some hope, but they don't have hope. If they play Duke, they're basically screwed over. They got over. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say, but Omaha does look good this. They did look pretty good this year, but I mean, nothing too much really to point out. Unfortunately, feel bad for them, but it's not gonna happen. We'll move along to the next team that we're gonna talk about, which is High Point University, which I still don't think is a real college. Does anyone think that's a real college? I've heard of one person that's went there, and he didn't say it was a fake college, but like no one knows about it. That's how it feels, like how fake it feels. But um, High Point finally gets to the tournament. Their first time getting it also. Um, they had a pretty good year, only losing 5 games in their only losing 5 games this year, and I think they only lost one in their conference. It might be one or two in their conference that they only lost, which was pretty good to say that. They got dealt with pretty easy games to start off the year. They I think this some things that have to be pointed out. I think the hardest team they played is even ranked in the top 100. They didn't play any top 100 teams, just top 100 teams this year. Oh no, they did. They played North Texas. They beat North Texas. So mark my words, that's wrong. But that's the only top 100 team they played, and they could be threats to whoever they run into. They're not gonna get dealt with one of those 16 seeds, I don't think. I think they're gonna be one of those bigger seeds. Let me just look what they are on seed. They're 13 right now, so they're dealt with a Wisconsin right now. If they get dealt with maybe a 12, that's where I would take them. If they get dealt with a 12 and the 5 is maybe like maybe Arizona or Oregon. That's the only reason I would maybe say yeah, but not with this. Um, let's look at everything that we have to see about this team. Very interesting. The first time getting in the tournament, like I pointed out, their 3-point percentage is pretty good, 69th in the country. One of the better ones that people like to point out. Again, that's good to see. Um, their elite defense, this is not elite defense. This is a mediocre defense, but a crazy offense. That's what we're looking at. They're 49th in the country of offense, but 170th in defense. So if they could shoot the ball like crazy, there's a chance, whoever they play. Just to watch out for. Um, the free throw rate is 63rd in the country. That's good to see that they're near the top. They're approaching the top 100 in that. Pretty good to see. The pace, they're one of the slower teams in the country. That's okay. Depends who they play. If they play someone that's really fast, that's gonna hurt them. But if they play someone that's near their safe speed, it won't harm them too much. And then what else? Oh yeah, the elite defense. I already talked about that in the offense. But um, rebounding wise. High Point is 44th in the country, right above Georgia and right under Louisville. So it isn't. It's not a stretch to say that they could have upset a team if they run to a pretty awful. If they get dealt with a bad 5 seed, don't overlook it. But again, don't be stupid and just take all the upsets like people do. It's statistically known that you're not supposed to take that many upsets. Like I think the average upset in a tournament is like it's not 8. It's like 8. eight or nine big upsets, and that's not yeah, it's eight or nine. It's not including the like not it's like a five or a 12 upset, not like an eight or nine. It has to be a couple digits off. Um, but yeah, okay. That's enough of me talking about that. We're gonna move on from High Point and get right into Lipscomb, who were the winners of the first bracket. I was going the East Sun, which I got wrong. I totally thought Northalbian was gonna win. I thought there was gonna be a little bit of a bid steal. There wasn't. But yeah, Lipscomb kind of has all of it on the table when it comes to their team. Pretty good team overall, so I won't be that person and be rude about them not getting in. I actually know. Um, what the Lipscomb do to get in this year, we'll talk about right now. Um, Lipscomb, they're top 100 in defense and offense. We haven't seen that many teams this year with that. Um, I would say that their best win this year would be against North Florida. No, I'm kidding. I think would be against Duquesne is what my best bet would say. I think that Duquesne one's pretty good at the start of the year. Um, yeah, it says a lot with Duquesne being the best one. It also could be North Alabama, but they're in their conference, so I mean, I don't think so. So let's look at all the stats with this. The 3-point shooting is pretty above average. It's only 114th though, so I don't know if that's all that well. Um, the defense is elite. It's again, it's pretty average, pretty above average. Their pace is again one of the slower ones in the country. I just saw the surface schedule. Um, Rebounding wise, I think they're one of the better teams. You can't quote me on that. Hold on. No, they're right. They're right in the middle. They're 155th. So nothing really too crazy to look out for. That is always a big part, in my opinion, about when picking these. They if they have a good if they really do a good rebounding, it definitely could go lead them a long way. Free throw percentage, that is something to look out for. They usually always be making their free throws. They're top in the country in that. But I don't think if it's a close game, maybe. But uh, I don't know. But everything else, I think it's kind of okay. Lipscomb is a, I think, let's look at what seed they are on here. I think they're a 14 going to have to play someone pretty tricky, I heard. They're 13 playing Clemson right now. And I think Clemson's one of those teams that could do something this year, if they get dealt the right team. So I don't see it happening. But we will see how they do when they get in the tournament. So yeah, congratulations, Lipscomb. Appreciate you. Final two, we're gonna talk about the one that everyone wants to hear about, Dream Bulldogs. Because they're supposedly the Cinderella of the year and everything. I'm not saying that they're not, but I'm just saying that it's always something to look out for. Um, because they are, I think, one of the slowest teams in the country, 164th in their pace. Now, I'm just saying, like I said earlier, the pace can. I don't know if I said this already. I may have just said the faster team usually does better. That's not true. I'm sorry. Contrary everything I said back then. Um, usually the strategy is whoever can control the game at their pace is going to win the game. That's what I was trying to say. So, like, Drake Bulldogs are one of the slowest teams in the country when they play basketball, but if they play really fast team and they're able to take control and slow down, they could do really well. That's what I'm saying. There you go. Okay. So let's talk about them as a whole. Um, First of all, their 3-point percentage isn't that good. Um, it's pretty much somewhere like 115th in the country. It's not nothing that crazy, but like it's still something really. Elite defense. Their defense is better than their offense. They're at 59th. It's not elite, but it's something that doesn't have to be recognized for if they're playing a team that's not that good at what they do against hard defenses. Um, like I just said, I pointed out the pace. I think we have to point out their non-conference run during their in-season, not yeah, their in-season tournaments. They won, I think, 12 straight before losing, and that included beating teams like FAU. Beating Vanderbilt still pretty much holds up pretty much today. And Vanderbilt has looked pretty good the last couple of weeks, so that does make them look like a legitimate threat. That SEC conference is no joke. I will say that. They beat them by 11. So no joke, no joke at all for them. Um, yeah, they had a pretty good season. They only lost 3 games, and I think the most that they lost well it was 7. So team that definitely can stick in it no matter what. Um, uh, FIFA rating's not that good, but nothing too conservative. They can always pull away and be able to do really good in their games. Um, Drake's rebounding is what everyone has to kind of talks about. They're 15th in the country. They're rebounding. Um, that always has something to give people's eyes to pop out for because that's pretty impressive. If you rebound the ball crazy, you go against a team that can't rebound at all, which there's a lot of them that can't rebound at all. So it could be pretty good to see. And they've only lost 3 games this year, so you never know how they're gonna do. Um, Drake Bulldogs definitely have a chance to have a deep run. We've said this last 2 years now. I think they actually legitimately have a shot now. They have a good story about it. They got all their D this coach got all his D2 guys to come with him to the new team and they played amazing. They have great chemistry. And right now they're playing a team like UCLA, which would be a hard matchup for them. I won't lie, because UCLA has a crazy good defense that I would actually like to see stack against a straight team. So I'm not gonna put it against them, but I would hope that they would get dealt with someone like maybe a St. Mary's. St. Mary's as a 6 would actually give Drake a pretty good chance at moving on, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they want to put that matchup. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know, but I think it's time we talk about our 2 games later tonight and see who's going to be joining the dance with these teams over here. So let's talk about these 2 games and let's see let's see who's going to be going to the dance tonight. Um, so currently, 2 games are going on right now. I just want to point out Delaware is playing Towson. Delaware is on this kind of phenomenal run right now. They're up 2. If they can be number 1 Towson, that'll be something to point out as a bid stealer that we'd like to see. Um, 2 games that we're looking at tonight though are and 30 minutes away from now, at 7 o'clock, Arkansas State, Troy, are you playing on for the Sun Belt Championship on ESPN2? Arkansas State are favorites. I have Troy winning that, and I'm so serious right now. You guys aren't gonna believe me, but I predicted like every bracket with my friend. This bracket is still perfect. I predicted everything correctly, and Troy's my winner. So Troy kind of has to win tonight, or I would actually crash out. So I'm praying for Troy to do something. I will be watching that game pretty intensely. But the game that got the ESPN game is Warford Furman. I rather switch those, but it doesn't matter. They'll be on ESPN somewhere. Um, this this bracket has an interesting story. I think it's the six and is it the six seven or is it? I think it's the 5-6 that are going against each other. Warfords are the favorites. I would love to see Furman get in again though after what they've done against Virginia a couple of years ago. So um, my picks for these games today. Uh, hmm. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna do the Sun Belt one first. I'm gonna take. This isn't because I want them to win. I'm gonna take Troy to win. I think technically that there's a better team overall. It's gonna come down to the wire. I feel like, but I think they're still the better team overall when it comes to playing basketball. I just think they're more consistent as a whole squad. If they don't, if Arkansas State wins, good for Arkansas State. I'm gonna complain probably still. Um, it is what it is. Moving right along to the other game though, those teams play pretty crazy slow, but I feel like Furman's just more of a consistent team overall. I'm gonna take Furman to win this one and punch their ticket back to March Madness. So I got Furman and I got Troy moving on tonight and being the new 2 teams going dancing in March Madness. Speaking of going dancing in March Madness, we need to look at my other brackets and see what other teams have I predicted to March Madness with my new nice brackets that I did last night. So we're gonna go through and talk about who I think what's gonna happen Um, yeah, we're gonna start right with the A10 bracket, the leg 10. Um, I will do the ACC one after, but I'm kind of dreading doing it. This bracket starts on Wednesday, and it's gonna be a fun one. So let's just talk about what I did. Davis and Richmond. I took Davis in the win. I think they're just overall more consistent team than Richmond. I would like the Richmond players to do something, but it's been shades of gray for them this year. I don't know what they're really doing. Number 10 Rhode Island versus number 15 Fordham. I took Rhode Island to win this one. I don't think it's this one. This wasn't really a stretch for me. No reason there. But number 11 Massachusetts versus number 14 LaSalle is gonna be closer than you'd think. And I think LaSalle at the end of the day was my choice to win. Not only just for the storyline that two Philly teams would go against each other, but like I think it'll just be exciting to see. I think LaSalle has Massachusetts' number. They've been more consistent team overall this year, um, and then Massachusetts has ever been. It will be fun one to see though. Then onward to the second round. St. Bonnie's playing Duquesne. St. Bonnie's defense is crazy right now. At the Bonnies, we want to play VCU. Number 5 St. Louis versus Davidson. This isn't a stretch either. Take St. Louis here. Team's been great this year. Rhode Island versus George Washington. I actually got Rhode Island moving on here. I think George Washington is a solid school, but I just think Rhode Island could definitely do something and show something up. So they're gonna move on to Friday's game against George Mason. Now LaSalle versus St. Joe's. St. Joe's is gonna win here. Um, this will be a fun one to see though. I would like to see this. Back up, we got number one VCU going against St. Bonaventure. This is VCU's win here. And then I got St. Louis versus Little Chicago. It was honestly a close one, but I think St. Louis is going to take this one, honestly. Nothing against Little Chicago at all. Number two, George Mason versus number 10, Rhode Island. I got George Mason moving on here. Um, Nothing at this point, the Rhode Island's run will stop here. I think they're too tired and they will be worn out. Uh, St. Joe's versus Dayton. I got St. Joe's moving on, honestly. I think St. Joe's is a team that has to be watched out for in this tournament. These four, I feel like VCU, George Mason, St. Joe's, St. Louis. Four you have to watch out for. I think they're one of the big four schools here in the A10. Um, However, I'm gonna end this off pretty with all this hype I've been building. I think VCU is gonna beat St. Louis. I think George Mason is gonna beat St. Joe. So we're gonna one versus two. I got VCU winning the whole thing. I wouldn't be shocked if St. Joe's beats George Mason though. So I might change that. I'll let you know if I did or not. But I don't think I might. I'll let you know. But if I change it, it says I changed it. But we'll see. Moving on, we're gonna get to the ACC bracket, the one I was kind of dreading talking about because who actually really cares about the ACC this year? Because brackets, it's just really easy. It's we already know who's gonna win. It's just who's gonna be able to who else is gonna be a team to watch out for. So moving right along, first round, which is starting tomorrow, we got number 12 Notre Dame versus number 13 Pitt. I got Pitt here. Uh, Notre Dame just played a 4 OT game where they could have easily sealed it much before and they did it. So simple enough. Notre Dame isn't gonna move on here. Number 10 Virginia Tech versus number 15 Cal. Even though I was just talking about Cal and what they did, this is VT's game to win. No doubt about it. I'm sorry, Cal, but this isn't what's going to be. Number 14 Syracuse versus number 11 Florida State. Give me Florida State to win this one. Sorry, Syracuse, but I don't think this isn't your game either to win at all. But yeah, then we were on the second round. Number 8 Georgia Tech versus number 9 Virginia. I'm gonna take Georgia Tech to get the win here. I know Virginia is statistically better to win, but I think Georgia Tech has a it's whoever wins is gonna lose to Duke anyway. But I think Georgia Tech can do whatever they do pretty well and show up against Virginia. Number 13 Pitt, number 5 UNC. UNC's been on a crazy run lately. Um, that's why I'm gonna give them the win here. Don't be surprised when UNC probably blows them out by like 20. Stanford number 7 versus Virginia Tech. Stanford's gonna win this one. They were comfortably in spot in the tournament earlier this year, now they're not. So they're still gonna show why they should get it. And SMU versus Florida State. SMU wins this one. Not even close. Also, another team that was showing signs of getting in, and now they fell through. Again, like I said earlier, Number one versus Duke, number eight Georgia Tech. This is Duke's bracket to win. I mean, no doubt about it. So again, this is Duke's bracket to win. I think it's very obvious that Duke's gonna win this one. Number four, Wake Forest versus number five UNC. This game is very important for both teams right now because it's kind of determining who's gonna get in the bracket. I mean, who's gonna kind of get the March Madness. They both of them would they get meet with Duke, but they're probably gonna get screwed over anyway. Um, they both want to get in back. I think whoever wins this one will probably get in the tournament. They probably get put in by the committee. I feel like. Um, for those reasons, we take number five UNC to get the win here actually, and meet with Duke for the third time this season and one of the best rivalry games in the country. Um, we'll see how that one turns out. Number two Louisville versus number seven Stanford. Again, Louisville's gonna get this one. They're not ranked in the top 25 for no reason. Same for Clemson. Clemson playing SMU. That's gonna also be a Clemson win there. Um, for my final four, Duke's gonna beat UNC. No doubt about it. But I'm gonna take Clemson to beat Louisville. I think Clemson is still a better team than Louisville. I think everyone knows that Clemson is gonna be someone to watch out for this year. They made their presence known last year. They're gonna do the same exact thing this year. That doesn't mean I'm gonna take them to win my whole thing now, for this bracket because Duke will beat Clemson at the end of the day. If Clemson does beat Duke, which it has happened this season, no sweat, no matter what. Even Duke's still gonna be a one seed, and Clemson's still. It's no sweat. It's just whoever's gonna win whoever just wants it more, I guess. Um, I still think this is Duke's bracket to win. No doubt about it. I'm sorry to everyone else. Let's talk about the Big East now. The Big East one is gonna go. This could go so many ways. Actually, I know it's actually funny to talk about. This could go a lot of ways. We're gonna start with number nine Butler, number eight Providence. I totally forgot Providence was even a team, and they're seated higher in this matchup just because of based on their wins. But Butler will get the win here. I don't think there's a question about it. Providence is so bad. Number 10 DePaul, number seven Georgetown. I love DePaul basketball. Don't get me wrong. This is actually DePaul's matchup to win though. Don't type in the comments for that. Like DePaul sucks. They do suck, but this is their matchup to win. They're better than Georgetown. I would take DePaul to win this one. They'll play Creighton. Number 11 Seton Hall, number six Villanova. Villanova got matched up pretty well here, and they'll be able to beat Seton Hall, even though they almost didn't do that a couple of weeks ago. They'll go and play UConn. Uh, we got round two here. St. John's will beat Butler down, no doubt about it. Marquette's gonna play Xavier. That's gonna be a good one to watch. I think we get a rematch between Marquette and St. John, so I'm gonna take Marquette to win this one. Um, number 10 DePaul's gonna play number two Creighton. That's where DePaul's done, unfortunately. Nice knowing it, but you guys are gone too. Number three UConn versus number six Villanova. Um, so here's the thing about Villanova. They beat them earlier this year. The Villanova does have this is the bracket I feel like Villanova could definitely do something with and make all it to them. However, I think UConn walks right back in. UConn and playoffs are a different breed. I know this is different UConn this year, yada yada. They're still a three seed. They're still a three seed. They play Villanova, they could beat them down. And I'll talk about it next. I still think UConn has their number. I'm gonna take UConn to beat Villanova. Um, so that's the top four right here. Top four: St. John's, Marquette, Creighton, UConn. I'll take St. John's to beat Marquette, and I'm gonna take UConn to beat Creighton. Um, for my top two here, versus St. John's versus UConn third time. I'm gonna take UConn to win the whole thing here. I think Darren Hurley gets his team together. Says, you know what, we're gonna see. This is where we start making our presence known. Because they're back to back champions. Even if they had an off year, you can't count them out. This is me saying I'm gonna take UConn here to win the whole thing and show why they're still a team not to be messed with. If they don't, so be it. Probably be a St. John's win, but you know, is what it is. Let's move right along to another bracket that I want to talk about. Let's get to some of these. This is a smaller bracket. I know no one's really gonna care about this. Let's start with American. This is Memphis's bracket to win. I'm just gonna put that right now. We're gonna speed run through this one because there's nothing really too much to talk about. First game, Charlotte Rice. Rice is gonna win. And then down the list, I got Wichita State to beat USF. FAU is gonna beat Rice. Temple will beat Tulsa. I think ECU will be UTSA. That's all talk right there. Um, After that, Memphis will be Wichita State. Wichita State did beat them earlier this year, but I think Memphis will walk right back in. I got FAU beating Tulane though. Just to put that out there. Um, Temple did beat University of North Texas a couple of days ago, but I'm gonna take North Texas lock in here. Crazy good team, I think. And UAB will be ECU. So my top four: Memphis, FAU, University of Texas, North Texas, and then we got UAB. UAB is gonna win, and I got Memphis winning. They'll be in the top two. Memphis will be moving on, and they'll get there all of it, like just like that. And they always play. I think they always play on Sunday as their last game. And they like play like hours before they announce who gets in the tournament. So that's always fun to see. Like as one of the last all the bids to get in. So that's always fun to see. Pretty much happen. Um, Next bracket. We're gonna Big 12. I've seen some people do a Big 12 bracket, and it's stressing me out. You guys will probably pull your hair out when you see what I'm about to do with my bracket. Me and my friend agreed on this, but I just because I think they have the momentum to do it. All right, here we go. Um, Number 13 Cincinnati versus number 12 Oklahoma State. Cincinnati will win this one. Their their defense is still somewhat pretty good. It's just I remember I had them as my Final Four this year, and it didn't happen. So it's not gonna happen at least. Unless they make a run here. Um, TC versus Colorado. That's an easy one. TC will win this one. Um, Number 15 Arizona State will play number 10 Kansas State. That's an easy one too. Kansas State will win this one. Number 14 UCF versus number 11 Utah. Utah's been doing good lately, but I would take the upset here and get UCF to play Kansas in this second round matchup. Moving along, we got Cincinnati versus Iowa State. Battle of the two defensives here. I'm gonna take Iowa State to win this one now. Should be no problem. Uh, Number 9 TC, number 8 for West Virginia. I'm gonna take West Virginia. That one could go either way though. I can't lie. Number 7 Baylor versus number 10 Kansas State. Again, this would go either way. I'm gonna take Baylor though. To play Texas Tech. Number 14 UCF versus number 6 Kansas. Kansas is gonna win this one. It's set for them to pretty much win this one. The players Arizona here. Now we got Iowa State playing BYU. That's a BYU win, I think. I honestly think everyone knows that Iowa State has not been good since their team has gotten injured. So unfortunately, I am going to take BYU to win this one. Um, West Virginia is going to play Houston. Houston's going to rock them, bro. Texas Tech's going to beat Baylor, and I think Kansas will beat Arizona. And that's a little shocking. You probably will get ready for my rest of my bracket. I'm sorry. Um, BYU is going to play Houston. Houston's going to win. Now, Texas Tech, Kansas. I'm going to take Kansas. My top two is Houston, Kansas. Right. If this matchup happens, it's probably be a Houston 30-point win, yada yada. For the same reasons I took UConn to win, I think I'm gonna take Kansas to win the whole thing here too. I honestly might switch this one to just give Houston the win now because it does seem kind of outrageous. Or I might cut them off at like top 10. It's just been an ongoing tradition that the whoever usually wins their conference from the Big 12 doesn't win the whole thing. It's happened for the past 2 to 3 years. But this Houston team has been dominant, and I've been talking so good about them all year. I might switch it. So if I do switch it, I put it on the screen. But that's something that is going to be pretty interesting to look out for. We'll talk about two more here. Next up, we're talking about the Big Ten. Big Ten bracket was very fun to do when I was doing it with my friend. Let's go number 13, Northwestern, number 12, Minnesota. They got upset, I think. Did they get upset? I don't know if they got upset. I just assume Minnesota's program is not that good. Northwestern will move on here. Iowa 15 C versus number 10 Ohio State. Self-explanatory. Take Ohio State here to win this one. Number 14 USC versus number 11 Rutgers. Again, take the IRC here. Nothing too shocking. Um, Then we got round two. We got India versus Oregon. You have to take Oregon here. I feel like I think Indiana. Idea basketball is has their backs against the wall here. This is their only chance to get in the tournament, but it'll get right shut down by Oregon here. Again, Wisconsin number 5 Wisconsin versus number 13 Northwestern. Wisconsin will win this one, no doubt. Number 10 Ohio State versus number 7 Illinois. Illinois will win this one. Actually, no, no. I got Ohio State winning this one. I think Illinois. Sorry about them. Their team has been one of the most inconsistent teams this year. It's actually hard to see. They have so many good players on their team. You got crazy good players. You have crazy good freshmen like Will Riley. You have guys that can do stuff all game, but when they get on the court, it seems like all their minds are on a different page. I would think Ohio State to win. Illinois still gets in the tournament like as a 6 or 7. Um, number 11 Rutgers versus Purdue. We already saw what happened on Senior night with Purdue. Purdue won this one. Then quarterfinals. Oregon's gonna play Michigan State. Michigan State is gonna win. Wisconsin's gonna play UCLA. I think I would take Wisconsin with this one actually. I think the she's just too much for them. Maryland's gonna beat Ohio State bad. Purdue's gonna play Michigan. I think Purdue's gonna win this one. Um, that's where Michigan's upset here. So that's my top four. Michigan State's gonna beat Wisconsin. Maryland's gonna beat Purdue. Maryland's gonna win the whole thing. That's what I have going on here. Um, it's either that or Purdue wins. I don't think Michigan State has what it takes to win, has the 1 seed. Sorry, actually, that's lucky crazy to say. Sorry. Finally, we're talking about the SEC. This one was hard to do. Um, and we'll stay though. It's gonna be fun to listen to. All right. South Carolina versus Arkansas. Arkansas wins. Basically, if you either play South Carolina or LSU, you're gonna win. Same thing for that game, that 15 versus 10. Mississippi State's gonna beat LSU. Simple enough. Um, sorry. Number 13 Texas versus number 12 Vanderbilt. It could go either way. I think Vanderbilt will win this one now. So sorry to everyone else. Number 14 Oklahoma versus number 11 Georgia. I remember when Oklahoma was so good. They just got uh killed in their SEC play. That's why they're so low. Georgia won this one to get themselves in the second round. Second round matchup, we got Arkansas, number 9 versus number 8 Ole Miss. I'm taking Arkansas to win this one. No, not taking Ole Miss. They definitely could win this one, but I honestly think Arkansas is going to move on to the quarterfinals here and show why they are a pretty good team. I think that rebounding for Ole Miss will struggle for them. It's definitely going to show. Vanderbilt versus A&M. A&M's going to win. I would take Vandy, but A&M just beat Auburn a couple of days ago. I can't not take them. Um, Mississippi State, Missouri. I got Missouri. I'm gonna play Florida. Um, sorry about that again. Georgia's gonna play Kentucky. I think Kentucky will be winning this one. I actually really like this Georgia team, but it's not the matchup that they want. If they were playing maybe Missouri, maybe, but nah. So Arkansas is gonna play Auburn. Auburn's gonna win. A&M's gonna play Tennessee, and that one's gonna be a good one. I have Tennessee right now, but I might switch it to A&M. So actually, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna take A&M. I took Tennessee in the moment because I know Tennessee is a good squad, but I honestly think for storyline purposes, not every day is on storyline purposes, but this will be a good matchup to see again. So I have that now. Florida will play Missouri, and Florida will win. Bama's gonna play Kentucky. This is where Bama wins. There's always a high scoring game when they play, so that'll be fun to see. Top four: Bama, Florida, A&M, Auburn. Auburn's gonna beat A&M. They'll get the revenge arc, and then Florida's gonna beat Alabama. All right, and then Auburn's gonna play Florida. Florida wins. That's the bracket. Now that's not that crazy. I feel like I think who had no someone I don't know. Someone had like Bama winning the whole thing. Bama's not crazy. That's not crazy if Bama winning the whole thing. But some of them are crazy. Like I think some people have LSU moving on out of this first round. So yeah, that's it for all this stuff that I had to talk about for today. Um, games coming up. We're gonna see some more Autobids get in, and better late. I meant better. Better late than never at this point because we want to see these games get played out. We want to see people get in. But if you enjoyed, please subscribe. Stay with me. I'm gonna be here maybe one more video before the bracket is posted, and we'll do a bracket analysis, all that fun stuff. I didn't really talk about the NBA today. I might do a separate video of that in the middle of the week if I have time. But this is March Madness, baby. I don't really got time for that. So I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace out, y'all.